Hey guys, I'm Lufko and welcome to a new video. First video with me using account here on YouTube. I've done some streams with Cam, but yeah, this is first video with it. There's no special occasion, I just wanted to do it. Now, not every video is gonna be video with Cam because my setup is not the best to use a cam, but I wanted to do it and that's why I'm doing it. Okay, so now that's out of the way. Today's video is gonna be top 5 best cards for each cost. So top 5 best one cost, 2, 3, etc. Now, why am I gonna do this video? The other day, I was watching the Snapcast stream and they did top 5 one cost. I liked it, so I decided to do it myself, but just one cost will be very short video. So I'm doing all 6 costs. So yeah, let's start. Here I have marked one cost. This is all of them. And for my list, this is my opinion. Everyone can have their own opinion. Some of my cards might not seem like the top 5. They're the top 5 for me. Now, if you ask me the same thing tomorrow, maybe some of the cards will change positions or some cards that are in the top 5 right now won't be. But this is my current top 5. So, in top 5, one cost, we have X23. She is not great outside of Destroy, but if you have X23, she is a must use in every Destroy deck. She's a must use. The +1 energy each time you destroy, it's not easy to destroy cards in a Destroy deck. You have 4 or 5 Destroy enablers, so it's not hard to actually get the extra energy. And mm, once you start getting the extra energy, you can ramp some cards and get them out early, and get some nice stuff. For example, the Null Zola, that is all thanks to X23, and other combos, other stuff, it's all thanks to X23. So she's a pretty good card in Destroy, and that's why she's in top 5. Right now, on top 4, Kitty Pryde. She's not at her best moment right now. If she was at her peak performance, she would probably be higher in this list. Still, she's a pretty great card that is a huge part of the one of the best combos in the game. Basically, the Kitty Angela that's been nerfed in the last OTA, but it's still pretty good, and she's a huge part of that. Doesn't have a lot of homes outside of it, because playing the Kitty without any benefit other than the +1 is not that great. But where in the decks that she's great, she's really good. Alright, now we move to number 3. Here we have Sunspot. Now, number 3 and number 2 here, they were really close. And once we get to number 2, I'll explain why I decided to put them in this order. But yeah, Sunspot, card that is not hard to get up to a decent amount of power for a one cost. Just float turn 6 in a high Evo deck. Sunspot is a 1/6. You probably floated some energy before, so 1/7, 1/8 easily in high Evo. But he also fits in a lot of decks. Not decks that require you to keep spending all of your energy that turn, but in decks that you wanna float some energy, Sunspot is a must-have in those decks. Alright, now number 4. Number 4, no, number 2, Nebula. Now, why were those two close, but I ended up putting Nebula number 2? They are both cards that grow. They're both cards that is not hard for them to grow. But yeah, I put Nebula here because Nebula just fits in a lot of different decks. Sunspot is more decks that you wanna float energy. Nebula just you're missing a one cost, you can put Nebula in. And that's pretty much the reason why she's on top 2 and not top 3. Yeah, great card. And alright, now top 1. Who could have guessed the best one cost is Nico Minoru? It's not even close. Nico is a one cost with 7 abilities. Now, sometimes you're not gonna have the best ability, you're not gonna be able to get that all of the value out of Nico, but she just goes into so many decks with so many useful stuff. Destroy decks. You have these move decks, Phoenix Force decks. You have these and the destroy thing, the +2 power, the change location, which is always useful when you need to change that limbo. The copy card. This is just the Swiss knife of Snap, the Swiss Army knife, and she's a really good one cost. That's why I put her in top 1. Okay, now we move to the 2 costs. In 2 costs, number 5, I put Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman, great card. She's, she has a huge counter, uh, a purple fart cloud. Alliot just straight up counters her. Alliot makes everything behind Invisible Woman useless. But aside from Alliot, she is a pretty good card. Why? Nothing can touch the cards behind her except Alliot, of course. So she lets you, for example, Sarah control decks. She's a huge part of those because in Sarah control sometimes you wanna play the cards early to avoid playing them later, but you don't want them to get revealed. Invisible Woman. Or you wanna wait for Killmonger to get a lot of value in that last turn. Play Invisible Woman, Killmonger. A bunch of other cards. Invisible Woman. Hela Tribunal. Invisible Woman. She's just a huge help for a lot of decks, and she is quite underrated. Right, number 5, number 4, Quake. Quake, when she got the buff to her current ability, Quake became pretty meta, but she is now, I'd say, another underrated card, because the hype on Quake just cooled down, and now not a lot of people play her, but that doesn't mean she's a bad card. On the contrary, Quake is a pretty good card. Now, Quake is one of those cards that you need the right location for her to work, which sometimes is not hard, but there are those games where all of the locations resolve on turn 4 and then Quake is just 3 power, nothing else. Because sometimes they're just locations, they do their thing, they become useless, that's it. In those games, Quake is just pure power, not amazing. But in those Nexus games, games with destroy locations, those type of games, that's where she can really shine. Okay, now top 3, Shadow King. Another underrated card, I'd say. People are starting to notice him a lot more recently because with the rise of the Angela decks, Angela Athena decks, and a lot of other cards, Shadow King needed to come back. He he had a big moment where he needed to get nerfed. So Psylocke in history was he was released and nobody used him, nobody wanted him. But then people realized, hey, this card is actually pretty good. And when people started to realize that, I don't know if there was a buff involved, SD needed to nerf him. And with that nerf that happened a while ago, Shadow King just disappeared. But he's slowly coming back, and he's a pretty good card that can just break a lane. He can just break a lane. Opponent has 20 power in that lane, but cards are like Sage, Angela, Thena, and Kitty. That 20 power ends in 5. He can really break a lane. And yeah, I say bit underrated right now. Alright, now I move to top 2, White Widow. One of the most recent cards. Well, no, White Widow, she's annoying, she's great. You can just put her in a lot of decks and she's gonna work great. She cloaks, and if your opponent can't fill that lane, that -4 hurts. So, yeah, I say pretty solid top 2. Okay, and now, top 1. Again, to nobody's surprise. Best 2-cost card in the game, Jeff. You can play him anywhere, you can move him, and it's Jeff. What else can you say about this? Play him anywhere, just wins games. The move thing also wins games. Amazing card. Jeff, number 1, yeah. Okay, now it's time to move to the 3-cost. Here's where it got hard. I'd say 3-costs were hard to make. And 3-cost is where most leads will change, I'd say. This is my top 5. I'm gonna start with some honorable mentions. Cosmo. Cosmo, pretty solid card. Can destroy the unrevealed decks. Honorable mention to Cosmo. Magic allows you to get that turn 7. Morph. Morph was, Morph was on the list. When I started making the list, Morph was on it, but then I forgot to add one card and Morph had to get out. But yeah, honorable mention to Morph. And Storm, Elsa, yeah, Luke Cage, Red Guardian, a lot of great cards. But it's top 5, so let's start with that. Number 5, Killmonger. Great card in destroy decks, still useful card outside of destroy decks. Opponent needs to play 1 cost and not use rank Kyera, but there are some decks that you can just put Killmonger in, no one expects him, and that can pretty much win you the game. Put Killmonger in a deck that nobody expects Killmonger, and Killmonger can actually win you games because of that. Because surprise play, you can surprise your opponents with a random Killmonger, and yeah, just win the game. Alright, next card, Mobius. He's annoying. That's it, he's annoying. He's an annoying card. Opponent plays Mobius. They can get the benefit out of some locations, like Dream Dimension, because Dream Dimension just makes Mobius makes Dream Dimension useless for the person that plays him. Plus, Rabona is pretty up in the meta right now. So Mobius just counters that. Mobius counters Sera, any type of cost reduction. Mobius counters that. He's just so annoying. Alright, number 3, Gladiator. Gladiator was number 2 But again, I forgot to add the one card that's gonna be the next one, and I had to put him down to, had to lower him down to number 3. Pretty great card. Sometimes Gladiator is gonna backfire. It is what happens. It's a card that involves RNG. You add a card from your opponent's deck, so most of the time you're gonna destroy the card. But there are some rare occasions where the card has an annoying on reveal, or the card is just bigger than Gladiator, and there's nothing you can do about it. So Gladiator backfired, and that's it. Yeah. Uh, Other than that, pretty great card. Gives you information about what is your opponent playing, and yeah, overall pretty solid card. All right. Now the card that I forgot to add earlier, Sage. One of the most recent cards, Sage. Easy to get to a decent power. Easy card to get to a 310, which is pretty good numbers. And if you bounce her back or you play her with Wong, you can just get a huge 3 cost card. And that's why I say Sage is a great card. Now she can be countered by Shadow King, or you get to be Shang XX sometimes. But other than that, Sage, pretty good card. And now number 1, Nocturne. She's the number 1. Why? Great stats, 3-5. Those are some good numbers. And the whole, are you gonna move Nocturne? Are you gonna leave Nocturne where she is? Now, obviously, like any card that has RNG, sometimes it will backfire on you. Sometimes when you move Nocturne to win a lane, that lane's gonna turn into Bar with no name and you lose it, or into the worst possible location for you and you lose it. But she is a pretty solid card, pretty good stats, and being able to move her in 6 locations, and the fact that if she's moved because of a location or a Spider-Man moves Nocturne, she can still move again, and in the first move she actually changes a location, and then you can change another location. So yeah, pretty good card. That's why I put her on number 1. Alright, now we move to the 4 cost cards. And here, top 4 is Super Scroll. Another card that is sometimes underrated, sometimes great, but sometimes Super Scroll can be a bit underrated. When the meta has a lot of ongoing, that's his time to shine. If the meta just running havoc with ongoing stuff, play Super Scroll, you get all of their cards, abilities, pretty good, pretty good card. Now, some people, they don't fully understand some of the interactions with Super Scroll, mostly the Onslaught stuff. So I'm gonna take a quick moment to actually explain that. Onslaught ability is buff the double all of the other cards in that lane. Now, some people say, I'm copying Onslaught and Iron Man, why is Super Scroll not buffing them? Because Super Scroll buffs all of the other cards. Super Scroll doesn't buff himself. If Super Scroll buffs himself with Onslaught, he would be just broken. He would be just broken. But he doesn't do that because that's not Onslaught's ability. Yeah, enough of that. Super Scroll, top 5. Pretty great card. Now, top 4. Shang-Chi. He could be higher. He could be higher. But there are some other cards that I decided to put up there in the top 3. Still, Shang had to be in this top. One of the best cards in the game. Opponent plays huge stuff. Shang-Chi destroys that. Easy. great card. We all know Shang-Chi. We all lost to Shang-Chi at some point. So yeah, great card. Now, top 4, Dracula. So Dracula is a card that doesn't have a lot of counters. Mostly Red Guardian, uh, Lady Deathstrike, and Bad RNG. Those are just some of the Dracula counters. And if an opponent plays Dracula, most of the time you're gonna end up avoiding that lane because you're scared that Dracula is gonna discard something huge, and you just completely forget about that. Game is win 2 lanes, you can win the other 2. So yeah, that's why I put Dracula in top 3. Pretty good card for a 4 cost card that can easily, not easily, but with some good RNG, you can get him to him huge power, and that's why top 3. Now, top 2, Miss Marvel. Great card. She got nerfed a while ago because she was just too good, and she's still pretty good because at the end of the day, if you can fully get everything out of her, she's a 414. A 414 supporting the 3 lanes. She's just really good card, really solid card. Can fit in a lot of different decks, and that's why I put her in top 2. And now top 1, I think we can all agree on this is the best 4 cost card in the game. Iron Lad just fits in almost every deck. Almost every deck can run Iron Lad. Of course, there are some exceptions. Some decks that just don't need Iron Lad. You prefer to actually play another card. But he's so good. For example, Tribunal decks. Almost every Tribunal deck runs Iron Lad because you can get some huge value cards out of him. A bunch of other different decks run Iron Lad. Amazing card. Easy top 1. Okay, now we move to 5 cost cards. In 5 cost cards, this was a bit hard, but here we go. Top 5, Cersei. Cersei, huh? Cersei, great card. She can win games because in one lane you don't have enough power to beat the opponent. So you'll play Cersei, and that lane most of the time will get a lot more power. And then there are it's an energy card. There are those rare cases where Cersei turns that 5 cost into Destroyer, and that loses you the game. That will happen. But I mean, of course, there are some bad pulls from Cersei, but overall, I'd say she's a great card. So that's why I put her in top 5. Alright, top 4, Iron Man. Amazing card. Iron Man can easily help you just win a lane. If someone plays Iron Man in one lane, I highly doubt the other person is gonna try to fight that lane because you can just easily add more power to that lane and it can go crazy. Iron Man, Onslaught, and Skrull, those 3 are the true enablers of getting the maximum power in a lane. There are some other scenarios where you can get that, but those 3 are the easier way. Just amazing card. You can get him discounted with Ravonna, so sometimes he's gonna be a 4-0 that just doubles everything. So yeah, that's why Iron Man is in top 4. Top 3, Blink. Solid card, pretty good. Just play Electro, Blink Electro. You get, I don't know, 4 and above cost card, depends on your deck. and you get the +1 energy from Electro. Or last turn you have huge cards in your deck, and you have one. In your deck there's only left huge cards, and you have one cost in your hand. So last turn you play that one cost and you blink it. You spend the 6 energy and got blink plus a 6 cost. That's just some of the scenarios where blink is just great, and that's why I think she's worthy of top 4. Now, oh no, top 4 no, top 3. My bad. Now top 2, Sera. Sera, Sera just enables crazy plays. She has an archetype of her own, Sera Control. Uh, why is called Sera Control? Because Sera is the key of that deck. You play Sera, and then on turn 6, you can just delete whatever your opponent did on the save on the first 5 turns, and turn 6. Plus, she can do some amazing stuff in other decks. That's why I put her in top 4, in top 2. Okay, now top 1, Mockingbird. Why? Easy card to proc. Play Mysterio. Mockingbird is a 2/9. Amazing stats for a 2/9. Play Mysterio and Squirrel Girl. A free 9 power card. A free 9 power. That's just crazy. She's so good, and that's why I say she is worthy of top 1. And now we move to the 6 cost cards. Now this was hard. This was probably the hardest one. And actually, looking at the cards without a bunch of variants clogging, there are not that many. I'm not adding death in this list. Yeah, there are not that many. And 6 cards is probably where the biggest differences are gonna be. But this is my top 5. And in top 5, Hela. Why Hela? Because Hela, she got nerfed. She's still pretty good. She doesn't have the hate that she does because she's a bad card, and that's why I put her in top 5. Didn't wanna put her higher, but she deserves to at least be on the list, and that's why I put her in top 5. Now, top 4, Thanos, the Might Titan himself. He deserves to be on the list, and that's why he's on it. Thanos has had quite a big journey in Snap, because obviously Thanos has not that. Thanos has all of his stones, and pretty much every stone or almost every stone got changed through his journey. But has always been a pretty solid card, and yeah, that's why I think he deserves to be top 4. Now, top 3, Sasquatch. Sasquatch is a similar case to Mockingbird. He's just a little bit harder to get cheaper. He's still easy to get to a low cost, and low cost 10 power is great. Mysterio is a 3 cost Sasquatch. She's a pretty good card and worthy of top 3. Now, top 2, Red Hulk. You see Red Hulk grow, and most of the time, Red Hulk is just a bluff card. You see your opponent, you see your opponent's Red Hulk grow, or your own Red Hulk grows, and your opponent says, okay, they have this card. Can I beat that? But then you go wide instead of just being one lane, or just straight up dump Red Hulk. He's a huge power card. He's just great power most of the time, and that's why I think he is worthy of top 2. And top 1, Doom. Doom is top 1 for me. One of the best cards in the game. Doom always tackles 3 lanes, so if there's a lane that you can't access, Doom is gonna take care of that one because of the Doom bots. Then there's also Patriot, so you can buff the Doom bots, bunch of different stuff. If Gladiator pulls your Doom, you're happy with it because you ended up getting two Doom bots, even though the main Doom was destroyed. You end up getting two Doom bots. Plus, also look at this amazing split. This is where I spent my Neon Border. I used my Neon Border in 2 videos ago or something. This is when I used. This is where I used it. One of the best cards in the game, and that's why I think he is worthy of top one. Now, Alioth could also be there. She-Hulk. Some people, I'm guessing some people are gonna put Agatha in top 5. Magneto is also way up there in the list. But yeah, this was a hard thing to make. And yeah, that's all of the top 5s. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, whatever. Uh, if you want, let me know your top 5s in the comments. I don't know if anyone's actually gonna say it, but hey, if you want, you can say it. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Till next week, have a great day, and bye.